I have been with my boyfriend for 2.5 years and I'm unsure if my views on monogamy will ever perfectly align with his. This has been weighing on me for a very long time, for about the entire duration of my 2.5-year-long relationship, and I've never talked to anyone about this. I 22F found out my boyfriend 23M had been cheating maybe 6 months into our relationship. What ensued for about the next year and a half was an endless cycle of him cheating and then displaying a dramatic gesture of guilt and promising he'll change. This made my last year of college quite miserable. It seemed like once a month my roommates would drunkenly sit me down on a Saturday night and tell me they saw him doing, insert any promiscuous activity, with someone. Needless to say, it was humiliating. I spent late nights taking care of him while he was incomprehensibly drunk. He would lash out at me and then apologize, and repeat. This sounds like case closed, right? All of this breaking and mending of trust truly broke me. I started picking fights and being an overall angry and irrational person towards him. I resented him more than I have resented anyone in my life. The problem is I also loved him deeply. And I know this is a played out and really dumb justification for being in an unhealthy relationship, but the good times were really good. We have a lot of fun together, and he always had assured me that he loves me, so I kept going back. Still should be case closed, right? The last day of college, he was moving out. He did that familiar thing that is dramatically displaying his love for me and telling me that things were going to be different. At this point I feel so broken that it doesn't even matter he keeps cheating. It's normal now. I get hurt, I try to forgive, and I resent. It's familiar and comfortable, and the thought of breaking up still puts a rotten feeling in my stomach. Since that last day he started to actually change. He explained that he doesn't believe in monogamous relationships and often lashed out as a result of feeling forced into one. His destructive and inflammatory behavior stopped, he's living healthier, and he seems overall happier. So I took a crack at an open relationship. Basically I went on 2 Tinder dates, hooked up on one of them, but didn't really enjoy myself. I feel much more happy and at ease being romantically involved with someone with whom I have a deep connection than just acting on a physical connection. Not only did I find it particularly exhausting, but it didn't feel like I was doing it for the right reasons. It only felt like I was trying to get back at my boyfriend. After all the push and pull and manipulation, I can't shake the resentment I have towards him. I really do want to try to completely forgive and stay in his life. However, it seems the only way that can still happen is if I am content with an open relationship, and I still can't tell if I am or not. Maybe it's just too soon and the wounds haven't healed, you know? I'm confused because he openly tells me about any hooking up that he does. He recently kissed a good friend of his, which is what prompted this post, and I'm not sure if what I feel is jealousy in that present moment, or if it sends my emotions back to the really bad, paranoia-filled days when I was never told the truth. It could be a little bit of both, but either way it doesn't feel great, but also not necessarily terrible. I'll be honest, it feels a lot better now that he doesn't hide any of it from me. I know that the healthiest thing to do here is just to break it off. There's been too much broken trust and too much negativity for this to mend itself. But I'm sure many of you know it's not that easy. We care about each other deeply, we enjoy each other's company and pretty much never stop smiling and laughing when we're together. And I feel like now, since we're both trying to focus on happiness and positivity, things could get better quickly, if only I could make up my mind on how I feel about this. And at this point it feels impossible to break up unless I have some eternal sunshine of the spotless mind-like mechanism. I care very much about this person and I feel like I'd do anything to make it work. Also, I'm aware that I have been pretty foolish up to this point. I can't seem to justify to myself or anyone else my desire to stay in the relationship, and I also can't bring myself to leave. Perhaps I've put too much faith into one person. I'm hoping that feedback on this will bring me more clarity. Whether that's telling me I'm an idiot and should leave immediately, or that things are looking up and it will work out in time. I welcome and appreciate it. What would you make of all of this? What would you do? Do I just lack all self-respect, or is there anything potentially redeeming about my excessive hope and undeserved trust? Update. Trying this again since I broke a post rule the first time. Not that I tried very hard to find it before now, but curiosity got the best of me after recalling a bunch of well-meaning strangers basically responding WTF. The feeling of shame was visceral. I fully understood I was in an effed up relationship but couldn't find the courage or self-respect to leave. It was this immense dissonance that I can't describe to this day, and I have a hard time talking about it in therapy still. It was just surreal and painful, reading it. There were a few very compassionate yet stern comments which I'm grateful for in retrospect. Anyway, I, 29F, am now married to the most wonderfully caring, loving, respectful, sweet person on this planet, 31M, who I am excited to have a future with instead of being full of dread. We have been together for 5 years and married for a few months. And I'm really happy the post feels like it was written by a different person in a different lifetime. Life feels so much lighter than it used to. There's no other point to this post, except maybe to comment that manipulation is one hell of a drug.